Yes, indeed. Back at it, ready to get right back to it. At you with another video right away. Right away. Before we jump into it, let me get you to like, subscribe, and share. Also hit the notification bell. Help the algorithm. We diving right into the basketball. This week we have had some action. We have had some shifting. We have had some turnaround. Um, I was going to make a video for you guys earlier, initially with the Kyrie Irving trade, and then I thought to myself, you know what? Let me wait. Let me wait till it develop and play out, and then we're gonna jump on this thing and break it all down. You feel me? With Kyrie, I was like, wow. I mean, I did not see it coming. It was a huge surprise. My man was not happy where he was at, decided to leave. He left. And, as many say he left on a bad term, I'll tell you this. He played up until the end. You feel me? He played, not to say he didn't take a lot of games off throughout the whole process and ordeal since the time he'd been there. But the last couple of games, he was balling. He's showing like, looky here. And he made a good comment. He said, look, I left him in fourth. You feel me? I didn't just stop playing and let them boys dwindle down to eighth. I left them in fourth. They in a good spot. And now I'm out of here. I need to go somewhere that fits. And everybody was talking about the Nets are not going to trade him to where he want to go. I mean, that just really couldn't be furthest from the truth. My boy seemed like he went exactly where he want to go. He made it to the exact precise destination. He sounding bought in, like I wanted to go over here and play with the Luka Magic. You feel me? They got a nice team. And I'm gonna add some extra sauce to the mix. We got the best two ball handlers, arguably, in the game. For me, I gotta say it's Chef Curry coming in at number two outside of Kyrie. But Luka is up there. He's balling, but I can't throw him ahead. I mean, he got the ball. He got the handle. I ain't gonna say he ain't got the ball in string, but I like my man Chef Curry. What he do with the ball? He's really phenomenal. He's really magical. The way he could dive into any kind of defense and create something out of nothing every time, whenever he feel like it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It ain't whether or not he magical or not. That boy gets busy and he finishing all kind of which ways. Luka ain't like that. He ain't like that. But I think Curry's handle allows him to finesse the game in such a way that's only few can do. Kyrie is one of them. What if he'd have went over there and played? That'd have been smooth if Kyrie had ended up at the Warriors. But nevertheless, let's jump into it because he ended up in Dallas. Will it work? At first, I was thinking, nah, it's not going to work. That's a silly situation. But, and must say they don't play defense. But from what I see, they do play defense. Luka and Kyrie both attempt to play defense. You got some people out there that's not playing no defense. That's not these two. They play. Although most of their energy is going to be on the offensive end, they not. You don't just get to do anything on the offense on them. You know what I'm talking about? They play. They body up. They try and read the game from a thinking standpoint. So they play thinking defense. They're not really the strongest, most athletic, you know what I'm talking about, to be able to just shut somebody down. But they try to stay in front of their man and put a hand up. You know what I'm talking about? So, and they rely on their bigs in the back to back them up. So that's good defense for me. You know what I'm talking about? They're not the best defenders. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no Mikal Bridges out here. Shout out to my hitter. But they do play enough defense to complement their offense. I'm liking what I'm seeing. They're both elite scorers, so you're gonna deal with them. You're gonna have to deal with them, and with them, you think how would it not work? Like Kyrie, you let him touch the ball at any given point, he can get you 30. And same for Luka. And it's just that simple. Double team or no double team, they know how to create finesse and make their team better. So I'm liking it. It's gonna be interesting. They got a lot of good role players around them. Luka definitely got eyes. His vision is up there with LBJ's. He's one of the best ones to pass the rock in the game today. So they got a chance. When you got an elite passer, a couple elite scorers, now they got a tag team situation going on where Luka didn't have that elite offensive co-part. He do now. And so you gotta deal with more than just him. And he gonna drop a dime. And then your defense has done shifted already. And Kyrie coming with that brain And he see your defense done shifted. He know when he touched the ball exactly what he finna do. You know what I'm talking about? And he got that quick trigger too. So that's something to watch. Now we finna see. Now they're not gonna be a pushover. It's still up for grabs because look, I don't never count the Warriors out. You know what I'm talking about? With them elite shooters they got, and Chef Curry and Klay Thompson, it don't take them long to get the rock off, and then they training up Jordan Poole, and their defensive schemes is legit. I can't count them out. I could see they're not gonna just roll Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can just roll Dallas with Kyrie on the court because he ain't going, and he elevates his game. So it's not gonna be a rolling of the sorts. But do they have enough? Time gonna tell. Time gonna tell. But you is gonna have to deal with that team. KD to the Suns. Wow, another wild moment. I didn't think he was gonna go nowhere, to be honest. First off, I think the Nets got a really good team. I'll dive in that in just a minute, but so KD could have worked out right there, but he wanted something solid. He, excuse me. He wanted something consistent. He wanted something reliable. And although CP3 does tend to get hurt more so in the playoffs, more so deep in the playoffs, as far as reliability go and what he gonna bring to the table, he gonna bring exactly what he gonna bring. He's been dubbed by his peers the point guard, so he's a floor general, which KD wants to work with. A floor general, you gotta go. It's hard because it's weird because you don't really gotta guard CP3 like that. But if you don't, he'll hit you with that mid range, and he'll let that three ball go if you sag off too much. It ain't that he can't score. He'll pass. He want to pass the rock, but he's smart and savvy. You give that space up, you act like you going to go switch off, splash. You don't give the space, and you let him give his boy the rock exactly where he wanted to be at. When Devin Booker and KD splash, splash, they're gonna dominate their matchups or at least match their matchups. You know what I'm talking about? So they're always gonna be in the game, and that's what's going on right now. A lot of teams have put themselves in a situation where they're gonna be in the game. They've added elite scoring, efficient scoring and KD. Devin Booker supposed to be was compared to the next Kobe. So you got this mix going on. You imagine KD playing with Kobe. He's supposed to be compared to the next young Kobe. Then we got some sauce, and they got a center, a decent center out there playing. You know what I'm saying? With a few decent role players, and I'm sure they're gonna add a couple more pieces to the mix with the buyout and everything going on. But with what they got, first off, they solid. Just in those three, CP3, KD, and Devin Booker, your scoring is legit because CP3 can easily give you 20. And on the wrong night, depending on how you switch and how your defense is moving, he'll drop a 30 piece on your head. We know KD is gonna be Mr. Super efficient and low key. Let me give a shout out to him real quick, and I'll cover this in another episode as well. But so LeBron just got the scoring title, most points scored by any NBA player in history. Who is coming up in the ranks to be in the top 10 this year? KD. KD, if not this year, real early next year. But KD is coming up to top 10 real quick. He's not that far behind. He's 4 years younger than LBJ. So if he play for the next 4 years, he's going to reach that same mark that LeBron is at right now. So now it's a matter of who plays the game longer. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see KD having a problem, low key, when it come down to it, to come off the bench, to be like, you know what I'm saying? I am, because everybody say he's the greatest scorer. So why wouldn't he go for the title? I see him going for the title when it's all done and said. Mark my words. You feel me? Mark my words. KD going for the scoring title. You feel me? And that's not to say Giannis ain't coming up behind everybody. But KD definitely going to go ahead and break that joint. So LeBron can enjoy it while it's around. He can enjoy it for the next 6 years. And then KD is knocking down the door. So that's why LeBron gonna definitely want to stay in the game longer, because if you leave, that driver's seat unattended, somebody else will control the vehicle. All right, so that's big news. KD to the Suns makes them an elite contender. Everybody's saying they're supposed to win. Look, I don't buy into supposed to win just because you add somebody. You got to get the chemistry. You got to get the reps in. We know what you bring to the table, but is your team going to be would it be cohesive? Is it going to be enough cohesion there to dominate a team like the Warriors, who have then been doing this thing forever. You understand? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I like what the Warriors are working with. I like how they just threw Gary Payton II or whatnot back into the mix for that little defense. Look, we gonna see. We gonna find out. He happy to be back. I wasn't even gonna cover them, but I had to just drop that little jewel. And now moving right along, because we talking about this week wows, right? Westbrook off the Lakers. We knew that was coming. It looked like it was coming. He wasn't really trying. He didn't mind being six man, but it's a certain kind of way you got to deal with him. He got a certain kind of code about himself. You know what I'm talking about? He got a certain kind of worth and a personal uh esteem that you got to deal with. And so it ain't just this six man. You got to also come correct. I don't think he mind coming off the bench, but come correct when you're dealing with me. It ain't because he don't care if I'm 1 through 5 or you know what I'm saying 6 through whatever. When you deal with me as a human, as a man, you better be dealing correct, or we gonna have smoke in the city. And it's just that simple with West. I think I like to see him low key. I like to see him roll to the Nets. I mean, that's not probably real. Look, grab him, because he wants to have fun. He's playing the game for fun. He want to win, and he works hard, just as hard as anybody else. Everybody speaks, all his peers speak to his work ethic. So you can't knock a man who worked that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you got to deal with him correctly. I like to see him on the Nets, low key. I like to see him go roll on the Suns with KD. Reunite that. Try that again. Let him bring up the off the bench. I bet he won't mind. Shout out to him. I'm wishing the best for him. He gonna be in the league. He know how to do it. He like playing the game, and he a smart brother. Shout out to my dude. Now, and let me just quickly cover the Bucks with Jay Crowder. They added that boy to play that defense, that aggressive defense. You know what I'm saying? So they added that's gonna be nice. They need that little toughness. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he'll be coming off the bench, but that's gonna be great. And he got that three ball. Cause look, they a problem. We got a couple teams that's a problem, and the Bucks is one of them. Adding Jay Crowder, they always trying to add that little whoever can shoot that three and play that defense. Because they all about defense. To let us not get it twisted. So shout out to him. They just made a team just a little piece better. A little piece better. They adding these little savvy moves. Joe Ingles, they had added a little bit ago. Jay Crowder, them three balls. They're adding some specific pieces around their team. All right. Now I gotta mention the Nets because look, I was rocking with the Nets and I liked the Nets and I liked ED past tense and I LIKE present tense what the Nets is working with. I know they done gave up some stuff, but look, in KD and in Kyrie, but look, they squad is they supposed to be one of the best defending teams in the league. And they didn't add Spencer Dinwiddie. They still got Claxton. Ben Simmons, I think it's gonna be Ben Simmons' team now, even though they saying it's Spencer Dinwiddie, but he also saying I ain't the superstar, megastar that's gonna fill seats. But low key's also saying, I'm coming though. He's playing with confidence. Um, Ben Simmons' defense out here, Claxton defense out here, Bridges, come on now, defense out here. And they're gonna get you some buckets. Bridges getting you buckets out here too. Those Dorian Finney-Smith. You know what I'm saying? They all like to chase these rebounds. They hustle for the loose balls. They doing you get all the dudes that do all the little stuff. This team is finna make noise. Royce O'Neal defense. And then you got all these shooters and Seth Curry. I said Seth, not Steph. Patty Mills, Joe Harris. And then Cam Thomas, like, they got power out here. They got power. They gonna make some noise. These boys is not to be trifled with. You know what I'm talking about? They got people that can defend the wings. They gonna need and they got enough bigs. Claxton gonna be able to hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Ben Simmons is gonna be nice to be able to anchor that defense, and then he a distributor. He know how to move that rock. The only problems is some of the elite scorers, Spencer Dinwiddie and Cam Thomas, they can be liabilities on the defensive end, which can turn you got to play a little defense. You cannot let people just blow by and be like, you know what I'm saying? So if they can stay out of foul trouble, that'd be key for them. They can stay out of foul trouble. They can make some real noise. They not finna be a pushover in the East because in the East we only got the Bucks, we only got Boston Celtics, and we only got the Cavs. You got to make some noise for the Sixers as the four teams to be dealt with, but then the fifth is open. The fifth to me is the Nets. The fifth seed is they making the playoffs easily. They finna run some teams. They finna dominate some teams. It's gonna be fun to see them match up against some of their old counterparts. They not finna just fold. They got the defenders to guard them. Had they originally had KD originally been on another team, then Bridges would have been on them. You know what I'm saying? Or Dorian Finney-Smith would have been on him. Dorian Finney-Smith got good defense and he got good hustle. I don't think he got elite defense like a Ben Simmons or Mikal Bridges. But he can guard some of them other players, you know what I'm saying? And make it tough on some people. Yeah, and he chased down rebounds, and that's part of defense. So they got all the things they need to be an elite team. They just don't got big names. They names are just not huge yet. But this team is finna make a noise. All right. With that said, we're out this piece. Tune in next time. Stay glued. We got it coming up. Playoff weekend. All-Star weekend coming up soon. Next weekend is All-Star weekend. After that, the second half of the season begins where teams try to make some noise. And I told you, girls and boys, it's all about the playoffs. Everybody's getting ready to make they push, make they run. It's gonna be fun. We balling, shot calling, trying to get that shot to drop up against that shot clock. Gotta beat the best to be the best. We're trying to see who be the best from the east to the west. We